What up, guys? Showtime. From Showtime Shredded Fitness over here. Size, growth, get big. Alright. And again, I wasn't playing with that video I did a few hours ago with with talking about who cares if this person is this culture, this ethnicity, this background, right? If they're a good person, okay? And it might take some time. You might not know, okay? You can't always tell. You can almost never tell somebody at face value. Oh, that's a good person because they got a certain skin color. That's a good person because that person's from that country. That person's a good person because she is freaking practices this religion or from that family, right? Maybe that reputation from that family or job site or whatever it is might carry with it a good reputation, so the odds might be in that favor of being what you think this person is, right? But you still want to investigate, and don't just go, okay, well, we're in love, so you're a dude with this hot chick, and you're like, yeah, just trust. I say fuck the trust, okay? If you know the person very well, then, and you know that person's pretty trustworthy, then yeah, you should just trust that person because you've known that person for a long time. You know what their integrity is, their character, and then they should have the right to have their space and have your full, complete trust with no questions asked until something else happens, right? But if you don't know this motherfucker, if you're a chick dating this dude, or you're a dude dating this chick, and it seems to be too good to be true, fucking check your local laws, okay? But put a fucking tracker on the car, put the hidden cameras in, go do your investigations. I'm not talking about right at the bat. I'm talking about if you start falling for this person, talking marriage and shit. Because the last thing you want to do is get into a relationship, take the vows, you come through all this shit, right? And then make a mockery of it, right? The whole thing was a joke, right? This person was nothing what they said they're going to be. And said all these lies of the past, or to pareja, which is your spouse, right? And now you're stuck with this problem, which now, and guys, watch out. Eddie Murphy's right. When you're a dude, right? Oh, you're a chick. Sometimes you can get screwed if you're a successful person. You can build something together as a team. Yeah, each person should get half. Done. No questions asked, right? And I mean, I'm not even against paying somebody off a decent amount. I come in way with more than they had. Even if they're the ones that fucked it up, here's some money, go live your life. I want you to be happy, right? But to come in and, after the dude's already got all this money, or this gal's already got all their money, and now you want half, because you've been with the person for a year or something, right? You shouldn't be entitled to that shit. That's bullshit. So I'm not in favor of just jumping in there, into a relationship, bada bing, bada boom. I think that nowadays, when 90% or more of all the marriages are in a divorce, I think you need to investigate. I think you need to really either know this person from the time you're both little, or if you can't, figure that out, because you don't have that kind of background, that many years experience with this person. Freaking, you start asking around, people that are close, not necessarily exes, because sometimes they'll throw that person under the bus and even throw in some lies and stuff. So it depends, if you want to go that route. Is that a reliable source or not? And take heed to what they say too, because you're going to have two sides to every story. But family, friends, relatives, people like that who've known this person for a long time, but then look at their integrity, their character. You boast up somebody, you can all be a bunch of fuck-ups, And not to say that you can't be a good husband or wife and still have a screw loose. And you might be a good person if you're unfaithful, if you're one of these people that freaking, brings it to the table and says, look, this is one of my problems, I'm trying to work with it. You can work with me on it or whatever. And but that's something that you would have to see if you're okay with or not. Most people in a really committed relationship are not going to let that fly, right? So that's on you there. But you don't want to get in there with somebody that pretends to be this, and they are really, really good at it, because, oh man, then who knows how many other skeletons are in the closet, right? Sometimes the ones that seem the most unfaithful are normally the most faithful. They just had a fucked up day and they slipped, right? And they're so out of their routine, they're so out of their pattern, that it just boom, just came right on the radar, right? And it's really easy to catch. It's really easy to catch somebody that's not a cheater if they get into cheating because they break a pattern. They leave evidence all over the fucking place, right? And they're just easy to track it down and prove. And but the marriage thing is not. It's got to be somebody that you're going to want to spend the rest of your life with, and it's build that trust and proved it. So unless you just know that person's integrity and character, like I said, because you've known each other since little kids, they get a pass on that investigation part, right? But then you got the whole business investment, right? If it's usually, unless the woman is just married to a dodo bird, dumbbell, right? That is lazy and doesn't work and knows how to kind of manipulate the system and fucks her, right? Out of, I'm not talking about in a sexual sense. I'm talking about in an economic sense, right? Dude's not entitled to shit. He's lazy. He's a piece of shit. He's manipulative, and then he goes and takes half of her shit. Right? But usually it's the other way around, right? So usually marriage, great business decision for a woman, bad business decision for a man. Now emotionally, it can be one of the greatest things ever, right? Especially if you have kids and you're allowed to see them. So here's where I'm getting into my next point. If you are a mother or a father, right, and the other person wants to get in your kids' life, you should let them, unless, okay, because I'm going to call this out, because, sometimes it's because I'm a bodybuilder, people think, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about, he's stupid. No, I fucking know that sometimes, the other parent is a deadbeat dad or a deadbeat mom or a drug addict or whatever else, right? Or a danger to that person's self or others, right? The kid might not be safe, might be only supervised visits only, it might not even be safe enough for a supervised visit. Fair enough, I get that. That always will be addressed in court, right? But here's the problem. You got stupid motherfuckers out there that make shit up, right? Men or women. But it seems to happen more with the women than the men, I've noticed, okay? Either way, I don't care which percentage is higher. You're a bad person if both parents want to be involved and you go and make up false accusations of this was a great dad or a great mom or whatever, and all of a sudden it's a chimo, right? As soon as you get divorced, oh, yeah, we got divorced. Oh, wait, here's a chimo. Oh, that's very interesting. You had all this time together, and now all of a sudden, molesting his own child or her own child. So here's my point on this. Chimos, especially pedophiles, but either way, it's gross, right? They already deserve to be 6 feet in the ground, right? Or in a facility where they're not around any kids, okay? So they can't hurt anybody else. But here's something that you guys don't think about. If you're a man or a woman, you're going to falsely accuse somebody else of being a chimo so they can't even see their own fucking kid. And you're in a miserable excuse for a human being. And you, my friend, say that with sarcasm, because you're not anybody's friend if you're doing that shit. Whether you're a man or a woman with doing those kind of charges, something that's not true. If you falsely accuse somebody and you think it's true, you believe it's true, that's a different story. I'm not saying that you have some evidence that appears real and it ends up being false, and that's different, okay? If you believe something happens, you report it, that's what you're supposed to do. That's okay. But if you know damn well and you just make shit up out of the air and you're the only one bringing it up because it's your own fucking not your own imagination, it's your own fucking lies, right? You're making shit up and you report your spouse as a chimo, then you should be put fucking 6 feet in the ground. You don't deserve to live. You're a piece of shit trying to ruin somebody's life like that. And ruin your own child's life. I don't care who you are. I see a lot of people say this. A lot of parents say this, right? It pisses me off. It shakes me to the core. just want that person to pay. So I'm not gonna let that person see their daughter, or their son. All right. Well, is he a child? Is it a pedophile? No. All right. Is he does he pay child support? No, he pays for it. Oh, okay. I can not give you spouse support. No, pays me everything. Okay, great. Bad dad? No, he's a great dad. Okay. Like to spend time. Oh, loves to spend time with her. And no drugs. No. He doesn't even drink beer. He doesn't know alcohol. None of that. And you won't let this guy see your kid? You fucking cunt. You fucking bitch. What's the matter with you? Why are you not 6 feet under the ground right now? What's your problem? And I'm not sexist. Same thing with a man that does this to a woman, 6 feet under, right? Now, I'm saying this with some hesitance, so don't fucking take the law in your own hands and do that. The court system usually work it out, okay? You're just gonna have to hang in there for a while, get bounced around, screwed around for a little bit. The truth should come out, so don't get too desperate too early. Just happened to a gal the other day. This guy was a horrible guy. Same thing I was telling you. The guy should be 6 feet under the ground. He's a despicable human being. He shouldn't deserve to live. He should die. He should be 6 feet under. Well, unfortunately, the wife felt the same way, okay? But it's all his fault. He started the whole fucking thing. Calls her up, texts her, he's harassing her, saying, listen, bitch, I'm going to take your kid away forever. As hard as I can, so you see him as little as possible. I hope you never see him again. I'm going to do everything in my power so you never see him again. Not because you don't deserve it. Not because you're a bad mom. Not because you're a bad person. Just because I want to make your life miserable. Okay? So you hate your kid, you piece of shit, so I would want to take his head off, right? And make an example out of him. But here's the thing, though, you can't do that, okay? And this piece of shit had given evidence in text message. She could use that against him in court. She wasn't thinking. Here's the deal. So she goes and hires a hitman, right? Yeah, he was an undercover co-op. So now, that motherfucker, not only does he get to live, but he got everything he wanted. He took that woman's kid away from him. And that's too bad, because she had the right idea. He did deserve to be 6 feet under, right? But our judicial system doesn't think like that. And I think it's a little early, okay? I think try to solve it legally first, before you go that other route. Was she articulated and justified in what she did? Absolutely. Would I felt bad for the guy? Absolutely not. I feel like he had everything coming and then something? Fuck yeah. If there was a way to track up the evidence and I ran across it and I could turn a blind eye, I don't know nothing about nothing, I didn't see nothing, right? Because he like I said, he deserves to be 6 feet under the ground. He's a horrible human being. He doesn't deserve to live. He hates his kid that much, he's not going to let a good mom get involved in that kid's life. No, that guy is a poor excuse for a human being. And it's too bad that the bad guy won in that case. But sometimes there's certain laws and procedures going to case. So just because I'm my own code and stuff, you guys can't follow that, okay? Because there's too many loopholes and stuff that it'll put a kink in your strategies. Fair enough. So yes, she was definitely right in wanting to kill him, okay? But she shouldn't have any other thing to do. You think about this, unless there was something she knew that we don't, and that could be part of the problem. You know, he could have been trying to do the same thing she was trying to do. She was trying to get him first, okay? He could have had contacts, and he could have just been a bad guy with bad connections, right? And she might have ended up 6 feet under. So we don't know the whole story, okay? He's a bad guy, so he's capable of a lot of things. But there's also the chance that we don't know these people, so we don't know all the details, right? But maybe he's harmless, and shoot, she's got all this evidence in the court system now. She might be able to win the case and see the guy as much as see the kid as much as she wants, and maybe he wises up down the line, and they both get to see it. That's the way to go, because if the both parents want to be in the child's life, whether willing to work together or not, but they're at least able to, if they're pissed off, go, okay, this your day, and da-da-da-da, fine. But let the kid have time with both parents. It doesn't have to be equal time, but give them time with both parents, man. There's a reason, you know, that God created Adam and Eve, right? You get different You get different aspects beyond value with this child. And if you even want to go against same-sex marriages and stuff, I got really no opinion one way or the other. I feel like, I've been, like I said, I've been married for a long time, and I've been in the military, bodybuilding, 2 days with no water, several days with no carbs, boot camp, all these other things, specialty training, and not military, but in martial arts and things like that. So, I've been through a lot of things, and some were fun, and some were difficult, and some were a combination of things. And you stack that all up, and it's still not as difficult for me as marriages. So here's my point. Everybody's all tripping out. Oh, it's a man and a woman, and da-da-da, they should be allowed to get married. Why the fuck not, I feel like two people that want to get together and be fucking miserable, I feel like they have just as much of a right as a heterosexual couple, right? They should be able to be miserable too if that's what they want. So I'm not against that, okay? I'm for interviewing the people involved and how are they going to take care of this child. And I know Putin won't see, I like Putin. I don't like him because he loves his weightlifting sport and his weightlifters and everything else. But he does not. He'll rip families apart that way and things like that. I've heard, but nobody's perfect. But in my opinion, I want the kid to be stable and in a loving environment. And I think two parents is better than one. So if they're both male or both female, or one male, one female, as long as there's love in the family and they don't have that negative drip with the kid, they're positive and they're teaching them value and discipline and consistency and discipline and life skills and math skills and reading skills and language skills and investment and savings and all these types of things. Now I'm going overboard. I do my own little system, but to try to have more balance and more set the kids up more for success, because a lot of people don't know how to handle finances and this and that, right? But it's a couple's thing to work on. They don't have to do everything I just said. They just have to give the kid love, right? And structure and discipline and these types of things. Now, what types of skills or spirituality or whatever they want to implement into their lives, great. I'm all for it. Is a heterosexual couple better than two of the same? I don't think so. I think it's too much of a label to put on things. You have a mom and a dad that's both horrible parents. Or you have a mom and a dad, the mom's great, the dad's horrible. Or the dad's great, the mom's horrible, right? And the same thing with the same-sex marriages, right? You can have two people that are maybe both dysfunctional, probably not. They have to go through a tougher process, because these are going to be children that they're obviously not having all the time. Now, that's not always true, too. Sometimes they'll have one go and then they get the eggs, and how that works, right? So there's ways, obviously, to make the natural babies, right? So that they can get around that adoption thing. But if it is an adoption thing, okay, which some do decide to adopt, great. Now you're bringing in, a child that has a chance to succeed now, right? And two parents that love this kid, that have been interviewed, that have been deemed qualified to take care of these children. And adoption, I've had friends who have adopted, is very meticulous, it's very tedious, they're very selective, and thank God, and that's how it should be, right? You don't want to just go here and hand out kids because they're freaking like candy, because they're gonna be fucking abused, some of them, right? And because they didn't do the process well enough, they weren't tedious and stringent on enough, and worse yet, some get sold, right? Sold in slavery or prostitution or both, and it fucking sucks. Or they're forced to run drugs as mules. And like I said, and it could be a combination of all of it. And it doesn't matter. You take two of those three things away and have them do one. Make a child run a backpack across the border or something? You're fucking kidding me? Terribly dangerous and fucked up thing to teach a child, right? You want to be a fucking 18, 21-year-old kid, you want to be a 30-year-old, 40-year-old adult, and you want to run drugs, that's on you. Risk to benefit ratio, and you decide to do what you're going to do, right? That's different. It's your choice. Nobody's forcing you to do that. If somebody's forcing you to do that, it's still fucked up, right? It's still wrong. Now, you take these, you do that to a child, you can fuck them up. Out of the three, it's probably the easiest to correct if they're not forcing them to take the drugs, right? So if they don't get harmed, you can maybe reverse that psychology and get them therapy and pull right out of it like nothing happened, right? But the other stuff, the slavery or sex shit, that's a fucked up thing to ever try to come back from. And yeah, you don't want to just be, that's why you don't want to just be grand, yep, because you're going to have people come in and pose as a nice couple, and it's just going to be a man and a woman, so just hitting red flags and gets approved faster, right? So just a heads up, if you're in this process somewhere, and you're one of the ones that are in charge of this fucking paperwork, is to make sure you very carefully and tediously and meticulously interrogate and investigate these individuals to the core before you let them adopt a child. Yeah, because there's some wolves in sheep's clothing out there, and they're very dangerous, and they blend in well, and you gotta be careful. But I think the system we have is very good at weeding out a lot of the ones that are incapable. Do we sometimes turn away good parents that would have been great? Unfortunately, yeah. We've made some judgment calls that maybe were wrong, right? Very possible, okay? But I'd rather be like that and maybe turn a couple away once in a while than go, well, let's give these guys a shot and have them be really, really bad guys, right? That's what you want to do, is you always want to put the children first. And if you really have that mentality as a parent, and it's the child comes first, and then after the child, the second thing that's most important is the child, and then out of everybody else in the world, and including yourself, the most important thing is the child. That child's probably going to have a pretty good life. Should you baby him? Should you coddle him and things like that? No, because a little bit here and there is okay. Affectionate and love and stuff is fantastic. It's phenomenal, right? Sometimes we get too guarded and, don't show emotion, especially if your dad were men. We fist bump now. We shake hands, right? We don't hug no more, right? You take it any way you want as a father or a mother, as long as you're showing that kid love, fist bump or handshake or kiss on the cheek or a hug. A lot of appropriate ways to show love and affection. It doesn't have to be all lovey-dovey. It doesn't have to be all cold either. It's just going to be what works for your system, your family and everything else, right? But that's where you can really change a child's life. But too much of this, hugging and loving and coddling and excuse making for when they fall short of the mark, or if they do something that's a little bit bad. Oh, it's not that bad, and you let it slide. Sometimes coddling is also crippling. So you want to, you don't want to baby them too much, but at the same time, you don't want to be too strict either. There's that balance. Where's that balance? I don't know. In my family, we just kind of have it. I'm the nice guy, the laid back one, and then my wife is the one who's has the iron fist, right, and has the discipline there, and it works well, because then between the two of us, the two extremes, there's a balance, right? And the baseline is there. She can be yelling and screaming all the time, and the kids are just okay, it's just mom, right? That's her baseline. That's how she is, right? And then they know that when she's happy and proud of them, she's in a good mood and this and that, oh, we did something good, right? So they know, and they don't get too freaked out unless they're really, really in big trouble. If she's just, intense and a little bit fiery, that's her baseline, right? And they're okay with that. Whereas me, I raise my voice, It hurts people's feelings. Why? Because of my face, I'm nice all the time. So and I just get a little bit mad for like a fraction of a second. And sit down, God damn it, right? And that can be taken wrong sometimes. Whereas most dads, if they do stuff like that, like, okay, Dad, sorry about that, if a dad that does that doesn't know to do that, can freak them out a little bit, right? Not anymore now that they're bigger, but when they're really little, sometimes make them cry a little bit, right? So, whoa, and back off, right? Stay in the baseline, okay? And teach through timeouts or calmly telling them why they're going to be in this punishment, which is to be timeout or no TV time for half an hour, whatever it is, right? Or do this chore. And this is why, and this is why we don't do that anymore. And we teach life lessons that way, and for us it works. And everybody's going to be different. As long as you have the right intentions, you're probably going to do pretty well. And your children are probably going to do pretty well. So if there's a kink in the relationship, don't blame the child. I don't care how much you're pissed off at your spouse. I don't care if your husband ran off, with a 23-year-old hot chick. I don't care about that. I don't want you to make it so that guy, if he's a great dad, that he can't see his kids, right? And I don't care if this gal's gone and left you for another man, right? And pissed you off. If she wants to be a part of her son's life or her daughter's life, let her, right? And if you don't want to talk to her, you want a mediator, I'm okay with that, right? But don't. What I'm saying is, don't punish the child. So many times you hear it over and over again. I'm not punishing the child. I'm punishing you, stupid motherfucker. Yes, you are punishing the child because you're not letting your significant other see that child. It's just, it should be a no-brainer. But some people, they don't have brains nowadays. It seems like they fucking leave them in the bedroom. They leave them in the fucking shower room. And they leave them at the gym, at the office, with not born with one. Sometimes you just think, what the fuck's wrong with it? Just that part of the brain that's not working? I don't fucking know. But it's irritating. And they're going claim false charges on top of it. Raped our child. Touched our child. What kind of satanic motherfucker bitch are you if you're making that up, right? I'm not saying if something happens bad, you don't fucking report it. I'm even okay, like one gal, poor thing, she got freaked out and found out her child was molested. But she killed herself. No, she should have killed the dude. Or turned him, I think she turned him in and then killed herself, I don't know, but don't punish yourself for that. Just learn from it and don't, and be there for your kid though. Kid comes first. And, you do whatever you have to do to move past it or forgive yourself or whatever it is. You be there for your kid still, You whack the person, don't whack the person, I get it. Just be careful, you're probably going to get caught. There'll be a connection, there'll be an investigation. You're probably going to get found out, you're probably going to get caught. The only person I've seen that's been completely successful at that on a very continuous basis is Dexter Morgan. I haven't met or heard of anybody else who has been able to do those types of feats, and especially with when you're judge, jury, and executioner, right? Who's to say you got the bad guy every time? And even Dexter Morgan screwed up once. That's collateral damage. The guy was kind of a douche anyways, so it works out. But there's going to be a lot of people that fuck up more than once. And so you gotta kind of clean up that sometimes. Oh yeah, it's fucking, that dude mouthed off to me, so I killed him. Like, no, you can't do that. So you axe him, right? You can't do that. Things like that, or this other guy just he'd have beef with somebody, even if they're doing their job. But that was the other attorney on the other side of the ball, right? So he's a defense attorney, she's a prosecutor, vice versa. So he would whack the other person for disagreeing with him. It's their fucking job, And Dexter Morgan even told him it's not This person gets a pass. They're just doing their job. He fucking whacks the person anyways. So of course what he has to do is turn around and return the favor, get that person out of here, because, and even though they were kind of buddies, and sometimes you got to do what's better for the world, for the universe, and sometimes that's a tough responsibility. It would be tough to live in his shoes. You got a day job, and then you had a family after a while, and so a wife and kids to take care of, and then you got to kill people at night, and you got to cover up evidence, and it's a lot of work. It'd be a lot of stress. It's not just going out and having fun and killing people. It doesn't work that way, especially if you're doing it with a purpose and you're killing the right people, and you're making sure that you investigate it for. There's another whole series of skill sets, right? To investigate people, take pictures, video, whatever you had to do in order to make sure that they were guilty before he whacked them, and then after he whacked them, you have to make sure he fucking disposed of all the evidence of his little trophy tray, right? And I don't blame for the little trophy case was a good idea. You can go through and you can remember who did what, and kind of keeps the purpose going. You remember each act, and how you taught them the right thing to do right before you whacked them, so they learn, right? They learn why they were there, why they're tied up, and in saran wrap and rope and everything else, and so that they can understand that this is articulated and justified, and what they have coming to them is it's a good idea, right? It's gonna make the world a better place. So I am all about killing bad guys and stuff. It's just right now I don't have a way of doing it until the government comes in and starts sanctioning some of these things. Put some people in charge, some Navy SEALs and Army Rangers and recon people, and just go in and take out just really bad guys. We have to make sure we have the right program, we have the right investigation, we have to make sure we do everything right, because especially if it's by the government, well, if the government just decides they don't like people for certain reasons, this person isn't with our political party. What if it comes down to that little of a detail? Holy cow. People switch all the time. Republican for a while, oh hey, I'm actually a Democrat. Well, what if you whack them? They don't got a chance to change sides, right? You should never whack me for that. So there's only reasons to kill rapos, chimos, pedophiles, and that's about it. I mean, even robbers and stuff, you don't even need to whack them. You just put them in jail, right? I don't like thieves; they annoy me, but it is what it is, right? You don't need to kill them for that. We'll just evil people that falsely accuse other people of really horrific things. Yeah. Yeah, I'm coming out in a minute. But that's about it. It's been showtime. Showtime Shred Fitness over here. Size, growth, get